as Bill sees it. Page 11, quantity or quality? About this slip business, I would not be too discouraged. I think you are suffering a great deal from a needless guilt. For some reason or other, the Lord has laid out tougher paths for some of us, and I guess you are treading one of them. God is not asking us to be successful. He is only asking us to try to be. That you surely are doing, and have been doing. So I would not stay away from AA through any feeling of discouragement or shame. It's just the place you should be. Why don't you try just as a member? You don't have to carry the whole AA on your back, you know. It is not always the quantity of good things that you do. It is also the quality that counts. Above all, take it one day at a time. Page 12. Seeking Fool's Gold. Pride is the basic breeder of most human difficulties. The chief block to true progress. Pride lures us into making demands upon ourselves or upon others which cannot be met without perverting or misusing our God-given instincts. When the satisfaction of our instincts for sex, security, and a place in society become the primary object of our lives, then pride steps in to justify our excesses. I may attain humility for today, only to the extent that I am able to avoid the bog of guilt and rebellion on one hand, and, on the other hand, that fair but deceiving land which is strewn with the fool's gold coins of pride. This is how I can find and stay on the high road to humility, which lies between these extremes. Therefore, a constant inventory which can reveal when I am off the road is always in order. Page 13. The shared gift. AA is more than a set of principles. It is a society of alcoholics in action. We must carry the message, else we ourselves can wither, and those who haven't been given the truth may die. Faith is more than our greatest gift. Its sharing with others is our greatest responsibility. May we of AA continually seek the wisdom and the willingness by which we will fulfill that immense trust which the giver of all perfect gifts has placed in our hands. Page 14. Newcomer problems. The temptation is to become rather possessive of newcomers. Perhaps we try to give them advice about their affairs which aren't really competent to give, which we aren't really competent to give, or ought not give at all. Then we are hurt and confused when the advice is rejected, or when it is accepted and brings still greater confusion. You can't make a horse drink water if he still prefers beer, or is too crazy to know what he does want. Set a pail of water beside him, tell him how good it is and why, and leave him alone. If people really want to get drunk, there is, so far as I know, no way of stopping this. So leave them alone and let them get drunk. But don't exclude them from the water pail either. Page 15. Eternal values. Many people will have no truck at all with absolute spiritual values. Perfectionists, they say, are either full of conceit because they fancy they have reached some impossible goal, or else they are swamped in self-condemnation because they have not done so. Yet, I think that we should not hold this view. It is not the fault of great ideals that they are sometimes misused and so become shallow excuses for guilt, rebellion, and pride. On the contrary, we cannot grow very much unless we constantly try to envision what the eternal spiritual values are. Day by day, we try to move a little towards God's perfection. So we need not be consumed by maudlin guilt for pleasure. So we need not be consumed by maudlin guilt for failure to achieve His likeness and image by Thursday next. Progress is our aim, and His perfection is the beacon light years away that draws us on. Page 16. Never again! Most people feel more secure on the 24-hour basis than they do in the resolution that they will never drink again. Most of them have broken too many resolutions. It's really a matter of personal choice. Every AA has the privilege of interpreting the program as he likes. Personally, I take the attitude that I intend never to drink again. This is somewhat different from saying, I will never drink again. The latter attitude sometimes gets people in trouble because it is undertaking on a personal basis to do what we alcoholics never could do. It is too much to an act of will and leaves too little room for the idea that God will release us from the drink obsession, provided we follow the AA program. Page 17. Toward honesty. The perverse wish to hide a bad motive underneath a good one permeates human affairs from top to bottom. This subtle and elusive kind of self-righteousness can underlie the small act or thought. Learning daily to spot, admit, and correct these flaws is the essence of character building and good living. The deception of others is nearly always rooted in the deception of ourselves. Somehow, being alone with God doesn't seem as embarrassing as facing up to another person until we actually sit down and talk aloud about what we have so long hidden. Our willingness to clean house is still largely theoretical. When we are honest with another person, it confirms that we have been honest with ourselves and with God. Page 18. Companion and partner. Dr. Bob was my constant companion and partner in the great AA adventure. As the physician and great human being that he was, he chose work with others as his prime AA vocation and achieved a record which, in quantity and in quality, none will ever surpass. assisted by the incomparable Sister Ignatia at St. Thomas Hospital in Akron, he, without charge, medically treated and spiritually infused 5,000 sufferers. In all the stress and strain of AA's pioneering time, no hard word ever passed between us. For this, I can thankfully say that the credit was all his. I took my leave of Dr. Bob, knowing that he was to undergo a serious operation. The old broad smile was on his face as he said, almost jokingly, "Remember, Bill, let's not louse this thing up. Let's keep it simple." I turned away, unable to say a word. That was the last time I ever saw him. Page 19. The wine of success. Disagreeable or unexpected problems are not the only ones that call for self-control. We must be quite as careful when we begin to achieve some measure of importance and material success. For no people have ever loved personal triumphs more than we have loved them. We drank of success as of a wine which could never fail to make us feel elated. Blinded by prideful self-confidence, we were apt to play the big shot. Now that we're in AA and sober, winning back the esteem of our friends and business associates, we find that we still need to exercise special vigilance. As an insurance against the dangers of big shotism, we can often check ourselves by remembering that we are today sober only by the grace of God, and that any success may be having is far more His success than ours. Page 20. Light from a prayer. God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We treasure our serenity prayer because it brings a new light to us that can dissipate our old-time and nearly fatal habit of fooling ourselves. In the radiance of this prayer, we see that defeat, rightly accepted, need be no disaster. We now know that we do not have to run away, nor ought we again try to overcome adversity by still another bulldozing power drive that can only push up obstacles before us faster than they can be taken down.